Baba.
Hello dears, another day, another video. My husband is not home today, so I'm going to cook some simple stuff for myself. I'm gonna be the only one eating it. The days that my husband work, he does not eat at home, so I don't cook as much. Usually I just don't cook. I eat leftovers from the previous days. Today I'm just cooking some stir-fry Malabar spinach. Not Malabar spinach, I'm sorry, Amaranth spinach, data shark. I put some onion, garlic, sliced garlic, and some chili, and I stir-fried that with some salt. Then I added the leaves of the amaranth spinach, and to that also I'm going to add a pinch of salt. And after that I'm going to stir-fry it for 5 minutes, and it's gonna be ready. It's a simple recipe. I think everybody knows how to make a stir-fry vegetable. Staple dish for Bangladeshi cuisine, in my opinion. And also on the side of that, I'm going to cook some chicken curry. Usually if I cook chicken curry for one day, it lasts me for 3 days. This young chicken, it was on the store, and my husband was like, buy it, let's try the curry, let's see how it is. No antibiotics, so it's organic. Inside the chicken, there's the gizzard, the liver, and the chicken neck. They put it in a bag and put it inside just in case if anybody wants to eat it. I love the bones, neck bones, so I always keep it. Or if I'm not making curry, I use those to make chicken broth, homemade chicken broth. And I use the broth to cook food for my son. Instead of adding water, I just add chicken broth. So I'm going to peel the whole skin from the chicken. I really dislike skin on the chicken. It's too fatty and slimy, so usually I just throw it. And after that, I'm going to do a curry cut to the whole chicken. It's always risky to clean or cut chickens in any surface because, as we all know, chicken carries salmonella, and it's very dangerous for adults because it can give diarrhea, food poisoning, but it's more dangerous for babies. So I make sure after cutting or handling chicken to wash my hand very thoroughly and wash the surface and the cutting board very thoroughly. In fact, I have 3 different cutting board. I have one cutting board just to cut meat on, which is this one, and I have another bamboo cutting board that I use to cut vegetables, and then I have another plastic one that I use to cut fruit. So I try to keep all the cross contamination at minimum as possible. The back of the chicken, it's really good because it gives a very nice taste to the broth of the curry, but we usually don't eat that because it's mostly bone. While I was cutting the chicken breast, I was thinking, I'm not going to eat that. I really don't like chicken breast. It's so dry. The meat is always dry and has not much flavor, but I can cook other dishes with it. So while I was cutting it, I thought I'm just gonna cut a big chunk of it and I'll make chicken tacos and make it my husband's lunchbox for work. So after cutting the chicken in a curry, I took all the breast on the side, and now I'm going to cut it in small pieces and almost mince it as small as I can in the cutting board, and I'll put it aside because later on I was thinking to make chicken tacos for my husband for work. I will share the recipe with you in another video. Today I'll just show you my chicken curry recipe, which is a very simple recipe. I learned the recipe from my mom because I think in any Bangla household that's a staple food and everyone know how to make it, but each house have this different recipe for their own chicken curry and it has a unique taste. Mine tastes like my mom's. So while I was cutting the chicken, my motion sensor camera in my backyard notified me there's movement, and I went out and I saw that my chickens were outside their coop, and my dogs love to chase the chickens. I was trying to settle the dogs to catch the chicken and put them back in their coop. As you can see, they're way too excited.
No.
But I ended up catching them and put them back in their coop. Because if they stay outside at night, they're gonna lay eggs everywhere. And usually, I don't find them where they are, and I don't know how long they've been outside, and I don't know if they're edible or not. So I end up throwing them or feeding back to the chicken. So I prefer them at least at night to sleep in their coop. So I know where they're gonna lay the eggs. Look at the pool; is a disaster. Still super green, no improvement. Then I took a very cute picture of my son, and I thought I would share with you guys because he looked adorable with his little tooth on the bottom. So in a heavy bottom wok, I'm going to heat a good generous 2 tablespoons of oil, and to that I'm going to add 1 whole onion. I usually cook with white onion. Then I added a generous pinch of salt, probably more than a teaspoon. And I'm going to stir fry that in high heat until the onions become soft and translucent. Once the onion is soft and translucent, I added ginger garlic paste. My ginger and garlic paste were frozen. That's why they look like that. Because I don't have time to paste it every time I cook, because I cook very rarely Indian food or curry. So I like paste them in bulk and just freeze them, and I take them out whenever needed. Once everything has been melted, I'm going to add the spices. This is cumin and coriander powder, and then I added red chili powder. On top of that, I added Kashmiri chili powder for color. I tried to make it not as spicy just in case my husband want to eat it, but since he's not home, I added a lot of spice because I like hot spicy food. Then I added cardamom pods. Then I added garam masala powder and some bay leaf. I didn't have cinnamon in my hand, so I didn't add it, and I felt too lazy just to go in a separate room to take out the bulk of cinnamon stick and take it out and put it in there. I'll stir fry the seasoning a little more until the fragrance came out and they're a little cooked. And after that, I'm going to add some crushed tomatoes. Crushed tomato gives an amazing umami taste to the chicken curry and makes it milder. I ended up adding 2 big whole peel tomato. I squished them in my hand and then I put it in the stir fry. And I added just a splash of water so that it doesn't burn in the bottom. Then I'm going to cover this up and let it cook for 4 to 5 minutes. After 4 to 5 minutes, the water had reduced in the bottom. And to that, I'm going to add my chicken pieces. After adding all the chicken pieces, I'm going to mix this very well. After mixing it, I'm gonna cover it and cook it for 10 to 30 minutes. Meanwhile, my son got hungry. I could hear him in the background, so I decided to prepare his food. These were a cube of apple that I steamed and blended previously. So I just defrosted in the microwave. I warmed it up for 10 seconds and then just mixed it. He don't like it as much because it's a little sour. I've noticed my son don't like sour food as much, but my mother-in-law kept telling me to buy the Fiji apple with their sweet, but I give him organic food, and the Fiji apple that we have in our store, they're not organic. The only organic I have are this one, and they are not very sweet. I've noticed that too, but Apple is good for him. It's a good source of vitamin A, good source of fiber. It's gonna help with the digestion. So I try to give it to him even though he dislikes it. Usually every time I feed him, I'm on the phone with my parents. My parents like to see him eat. They talk to him. I also keep him distracted when I feed him. So yeah, well, as I was saying, I'm home alone today because my husband went to work. My husband go to work around 2 p.m. and he comes home almost early in the morning, 4 to 5 a.m. in the morning. So all day it's just my son and I. So we're home. I pass most of my day playing with him, spending time with him. It's just quality time for me and him to be together, to play with our dogs. And like I said, I barely cook. Usually he works 3 days a week. The first day when he's out, I cook, and I cook a lot so that food gonna last me for 3 days. So just keep it in the refrigerator, take it out, warm it up, and eat it. I cook Indian food mostly when I'm home alone because my husband, he does not dislike Indian food. Actually, he loves it every time I cook it. But I feel like it wouldn't be fair if I cook only Indian food because he didn't grow up eating that food. So when he's home, sometimes I cook Indian, sometimes I cook Chinese, sometimes I cook Korean. I try to make different dishes different days to have a good variety of food, different food. So we never get bored. My husband always says, I'm so lucky to have a wife that know how to cook. And I make fun with him. Did you marry me just because I make good food? I cannot wait for my son to grow up and try my cuisine. The day that he's gonna say, Mom, what you cooked is delicious. I think that's gonna be the best day of my life. But he's being a good boy today. He is eating everything that I cooked like a little angel that he is. I think it always makes every mom happy when they see their son eating the food that you made for them. Whenever I feed him, that's our routine. We play music in the background. We made a conscious decision not to show him any TV until he is 2 years old. So far it's going good and he haven't seen any TV, but we always play music in the background. And that's why I keep muted, because I don't want to be copyrighted.
Good job. More?
Okay, he finished eating, and it has been actually a good 15 minutes that I put my chickens. So now I'm going to add big chunks of potato. There is no good chicken curry without potatoes, in my opinion. I love a good potato in my chicken curry. I added red potatoes, and now I'm going to mix it, add some water, and let it boil for 15 to 20 minutes until the potatoes are well cooked. These potatoes I bought from Aldi the other day, and you won't believe it, there were maybe 20 potatoes inside the bag, and 15 out of 20s were bad. I savaged 5 potatoes and I used it in the curry. I was so disappointed.
Baba. Did you miss Mommy? Did you miss Mommy? You want to play with Mommy? Mommy's cooking. You're such a good boy. You're such a good boy. You play by yourself. Yes. My sweet baby. My sweet, sweet baby. My sweet, sweet baby. My Johnny Tukra. I'm a Johnny Tukra. I'm a Johnny Tukra. Huh? L'amore della mamma. Tu sei l'amore della mamma. Sei l'amore della mamma.
I try to spend time in between with my son, in between cooking, so he doesn't get bored or upset. It has been a good 20 minutes. The food is, the chicken curry is ready. And then here I have my son trying to crawl. It's really nice to see his milestone. Stay home mom is you can say it's a boring job because you stay at home all day alone with your son, but it's really enjoyable seeing everything that a baby does growing up, walking to talking to little gesture, teething. So I love staying home with my son and see all his milestone. And right now he's trying to crawl. I hope he's gonna crawl and start walking soon. Thank you for being with me and watching another video. I hope to see you in the next one. Till then, please stay safe.